and welcome to ng-mouseover's web development. Today we're looking at, this is lesson 12, a bit more around that Angular directives concept. Today we'll be looking at the ng-change, the ng-click, ng-keydown, ng-mouseover, ng-mouseenter, and the ng-class objects. Learning these techniques will allow you to enhance your Angular application. If you're from a JavaScript background, you'll find this a walk in the park. You'll recognize a lot of these things quite simple. But a little bit more on that in a second. If you want to create today's app, I'm using 2013. Just go to Visual Studio 2013. Just go to File, New Project, then Web. Make sure these guys are selected. Net Framework 4.5, ASP.NET Web Application. You want an empty app, so no MVC there, and press OK. Okay, well, let's have a look at my application here. So as you can see on our right here, a simple application here. We've got Angular installed here, so you'll need to do that. In there is my JavaScript file as well. I've just added a simple HTML page, and that's it. Pretty simple stuff. I've already put in here a style, pretty simple styling. It's just going to do certain effects, change colors to certain objects that we're going to put in our code. Here is our Angular scripts referenced, which is important. And on our left here we've got an empty Angular script. So, empty is not good. Let us grab some code. So first I'll grab the HTML. And next, I'll grab my Angular code. Right. Okay, so let's do that. Right, left to right, I guess. Let's talk about our Angular code here. Don't need that, it's a bit untidy. So we've got a controller created here. We've talked about controllers in the past, and we're injecting here our scope object. I haven't really talked about the scope object, so just briefly, the scope object is a bit of a dark horse. You attach certain actions or certain objects which you're going to reference in your HTML area. So here I'm creating an Angular function. So this will be a function, and we reference that using the scope object here in our Angular code. By doing that, so there is our Angular scoped function. If we were to take this away, this would not work. So I just thought I'd mention that. I'd never really talked about scope. Anyway, there we have it. So what is this guy doing? He's just a function that's going to do a little bit of magic. He takes in an object here. This is going to be passed to this object change class here, which is going to be used over here. All this is going to do is, on certain actions, this will be passed to new class, and then this ng class, what that does, it allows the styling of the object that it's attached to change. In other words, it'll use one of these styles here, and the background will change color. Pretty simple stuff. Let me make that a bit smaller. So let us explain our right side here. So yeah, we've got our ng class, which I've sort of just talked about. What we're going to do here is we've got a little hello there, and then we've got a number of text boxes, not text boxes, but input types. The first one is we're going to look at the ng-click, which we have actually played around with previously before. But the ng-click, as the name gives it, if you click on the submit button, this function will happen. And what we're doing here is we're going to pass this item here through to our action function. It'll set this change class here, and that'll in turn change this guy to this new, or to this certain style attribute. So that's how our click action is going to do, and that's what it does. ng-click, you can use that for many different things, as you can probably see, to run a function and code in your Angular file. Our next one's going to be a mouse over. So here we have ng-mouseover. So if the mouse moves over this input type, we're going to do the same function, but we're going to pass a different class, which is 2 here. And you'll see this div go green. So that's the ng-mouseover. If you move your mouse over this object, this will all go green. Next we're looking at the ng-mouseenter. So when we enter in this area, in this case we're going to use new3, which is blue, so all this area will go blue. In our next input type we've got the ng-keydown, and we're going to make everything go orange. So that's with the ng-keydown, and this is going to be in an input text box. Next is the ng-change, and we're going to make everything go brown. Little quirk with the ng-change, you have to include the ng-model with that. You just do, otherwise things will go bad. So just work with me. We've thrown in a little checkbox here. Why not? It's again just the ng-change event. So yeah. So that's sort of talking about certain processes that can happen. So with the ng-change, I guess it might not be self-evident. What that happens if you enter text in a text box, if you start changing the text and entering text in a text box, that will, and once you've moving out of that text box, this action will happen. The ng-keydown, once you press a ng-keydown in this text box, the ng-keydown action happens. It's somewhat self-explanatory. If you're new to this sort of JavaScript world, you might find them a little bit confusing initially, but generally it's quite easy to work with. So let's build everything. Seeing is believing. Build started. It's coming up any moment now, I hope. We all live in hope. Okay, we got a white screen. Alrighty, okay, that's looking promising. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Right, okay, so first of all, our ng-click here. So when we click on this button, whoa, okay, didn't really want to do that because, well, we can see it's working. When we click on this button here, everything should go red. So, not trying to make anything happen. Ta-da! It goes red. So, cool. Now, when we go over this guy here, which is the mouse over, you can see that mouse over button. Everything will go green. Ta-da! Green. Now, when we enter here on this mouse enter button, everything will go blue. Ta-da! Blue, see? So you're getting this sort of understanding of how these events, it's hard to sort of differentiate between the mouse enter and the mouse move. There are slight differences. The next one is the key down. So we're going to new 4, which is orange. So when we go in here, it has to be a key down. So I'm going to press a button. Ta-da! We've gone to orange. Magic, isn't it? Now, the next one, ng-change. We go to new 5, which is brown. So this guy here. So we've changed it. Yeah. So we've gone brown. The ng-change and the ng-keydown might seem quite similar, and they are. Yeah, so that's that one. So if you click on this one, it'll go and do the new 6, which is the purple effect. So, one of the prime, a better example of all of these, and sometimes is so what I should have probably done is you can change the background of these text boxes to a different color when you hover over them, when you go mouse over them. Say you change this to grey. Let's just try to do that quickly. Mouse over. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. This guy. Because this is a somewhat effective technique, I find anyway, to help. This is somewhat a effective technique to help your users navigate your windows and your text boxes a bit better. So what have we done here? This is the text box here. When we mouse over it, the background of it should go a different color. Okay. Oh, no it won't. God, I'm silly. We've got this on the class, on the div here. What we have to do is mouse over. We have to actually, obviously, everything's obvious when you do the magic, isn't it? Quickly, we'll put this one here instead. We'll get rid of it here. Okay. This will be a bit more of an effective demonstration. So when we move over here, you can see that this text box has changed to green. So what I was getting at is that if people are entering information and they're hovering over it, you can then highlight it. Or if they've pressed a key into it, you can also hover over it. So that's a good technique to use when to help people navigate through your forms information. Right, so that's really it. There's loads more ng attributes like ng. So you can see a lot more in there. You can see the mouse down, mouse enter, mouse leave, mouse move, mouse up. There are, oops, that's the rest of the ends. There's loads of ng-key ones as well, which I didn't demonstrate. There they are, key down, key press, key up, which you can use to your discretion as well. So feel free to try some of those based upon what we've talked about here now. But again, these sort of techniques are good for improving how your site works. Okay, so I hope this tutorial has been of some use to you. Please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to bringing hopefully some more useful stuff for you guys. Thank you. Bye.